Good to have you with us. You're watching the news with me, Avni Raja. Let's start with the top story that we are tracking at this hour. Now, scores of former ministers and serving bureaucrats in Jammu and Kashmir have pending power bills against their name. Now, despite this, these VIPs all enjoy uninterrupted power supply, while the rest of the state is forced to undergo power cuts due to shortage. Now, the arrears were exposed after an RTI was filed by an activist who claims that no action has been taken against the erring VIPs who failed to pay their electricity dues.
There are power crises in the state of J&K, especially in Valley. People are facing tremendous problem because of power crisis, 3 hours power and 3 hours shutdown. On one hand, when pure people whose connection has been cut off because of non-available payment of 1,000, 2,000 or 3,000 rupees. But on the other hand, there are big defaulters, which has been cleared when I filed an RTI in the Department of Chief Engineer Power Development Department last month. After passing this RTI to this different divisions of this section, there were some surprising facts which came. There are some big defaulters which have not paid their due power and from last so many years.
Let's in fact go across to Fareed, who's joining me at this point. Fareed, this is extremely sad state of affairs here. On one hand, you have these politicians, these netas, who have all these arrears against them, who've not paid their bills, and they get uninterrupted power supply. And on the other hand, the citizens, the residents, the people of the state are facing several power cuts. So, and these people are all paying their bills.
Well, absolutely. This is shocking, and this is grave injustice to the common man, to the common consumer, because here you have a situation, as you rightly said, a common man, he does not get even basic hours of electricity, and even if he has some small dues, he's made to pay through his nose. There is absolutely no defaulter as far as the common man, the person on the street is concerned. But when you compare it with the situation that is faced by the high and mighty, by these big politicians, ministers, in fact, ex-ministers, MLAs, we have a complete list of these defaulters, big, huge defaulters who have in fact outstanding to the tune of crores of rupees. If you just sum it up, you'll find that crores and crores of rupees they owe to the PDD. It's taxpayers' hard-earned money, but they are not returning it. And there seems to be a sense of entitlement. They're drunk and high on power. They think that they just do not need to pay the electricity bill because they are powerful. They run the state. So this is the sense of entitlement. And unfortunately, the PDD, as of now, has failed to really do anything about it. Now, if a common man doesn't pay, say, for a couple of months, his connection would be cut. But what about these people, big politicians, in fact, across party lines? In fact, let me read out a few names. There is the name of Sartaj Madni, who was, in fact, is the former president of the PDP. He's the cousin of the former, in fact, the uncle of former PDP chief minister of the state, Mehbooba Mufti. Then you have Bali Bhagat, who is a senior BJP leader and a former minister. He owes the PDD around 50-60,000. You have Imran Ansari, who recently joined the Sajad Loan Party. He owes the PDD lakhs of rupees. And similarly, there's a long list of people who owe lakhs of rupees to the PDD, but absolutely no action against them. Why shouldn't their connections be cut? Why is the PDD really offering them this sense of entitlement when they absolutely should have none? And on the other hand, you have the common man who is, in fact, who's basically struggling through these winters because of power crisis. He still pays his dues, but he's not getting the power. And on the other hand, you have these VVIPs, so-called VVIPs, who, through this sense of entitlement, through the pressure on the PDD, are getting 24 hours power supply. This is high time that the governor of the state should intervene. He should send this message across to the common man that law is one for all. And if common man should, in fact, pays his bills, why wouldn't the politician do? Their connection should be cut. There should be action against them. And these are not few thousand. In fact, they owe crores and crores of rupees to the PDD, and absolutely they have not paid their bills from the last many years. In fact, you have former deputy CM politicians like Kavinder Gupta, who was the former deputy CM speaker of the JK Assembly. He owes around 13-14 lakhs to the PDD. You have Asia Nakash, who is a minister. She owes lakhs of rupees. You have Wahidur Rahman Para, youth president of the PDP. He in Pulwama, his HBN channel owes around 1.5 lakh rupees to the PDD. So all these people, while in public, they talk sky about propriety, about good public life, about being accountable to the people. But when you look at their these bills, you will find their real face. So it's high time the governor should intervene, take action against them, so that the common man would know that the rule is one for all, and they are not only there to suffer, but even politicians can be held accountable. Avni?
Absolutely, Fareed. Stay with us. In fact, Mirna confronted the chief engineer of the power department over the delay in disconnecting the energy supply to erring VIPs. Now, the chief engineer dismissed claims of any pressure and came up with an excuse of a reformed revenue system that is leading to the delay. Listen in.
It's my commitment to you, and in a candid way, again, believe me, I've never had a pressure anywhere, not at all, not even once. I've never had a pressure of not disconnecting some accommodation of some minister or someone. So we always go. We send a notice of 1 month or a notice of 2 months, and then the money comes through. And if at all it doesn't come through, then we go in for disconnection. So there's not much. I mean, they'll come in a commercial category. In fact, with commercial category, we are ruthless in collection of this, because they can use this money as their capital finally. So we really go against them in a big way. So we need to collect that. We have to. There's one difference in that, because this year there's been an order wherein all hotels, they were treated as commercial category. They've been converted into an industrial category by an order of government. So that is why there's got to be some reverse calculation done in their case. And this year the revenue got accumulated only because of that, because that was in just around the corner. It was off in the offing. So it has come on 27th of December. This order came in. So we're making these reverse calculations for them, and then they will square the accounts themselves.
Fareed, coming back to you, we heard that, excuse really from the power department. They're saying that they're ruthless in collections and there's some new calculation which now needs to be done. But obviously, that's all just excuses. None of that is actually being put into force, because we're talking about several crores of rupees which is being owed by so many of these VIPs.
Well, Avni, where he's absolutely right is that they are ruthless in collecting their revenue, but when the other side is the common man, when it is politicians, they just do absolutely nothing. It's a meek surrender as far as the PDD is concerned, because these are not liabilities of the last few months. These have been accumulating for years and years now, and absolutely nothing is done. Now imagine a common man, a common consumer, if he doesn't pay electricity bill for, say, consecutive couple of months, his connection would be immediately disconnected. There will be fines slapped against him. So all the wherewithal, the power of law will be on him in no time. But when it comes to these people, politicians, who should be held accountable first, because they are the public representatives, they have to show propriety in life, but they do absolutely nothing about it. And the chief engineer, while he said that they'll form a task force, they'll do everything, right now is the high time, because even he would not feel any political pressure. There is no political dispensation. There is governor's rule. He should act, because he has to really ensure that the law is one for all, not one law and a separate yardstick for the common man, and absolutely different rule for these politicians. Now, as I said, these are not a few politicians. There are hundreds of them who owe crores of rupees to the PDD. A list should be out. They should be named and shamed, and they should be forced to pay this before it really gets even further delayed. And then we know that, again, it would be only the common man who will be grilled on this. So we'll have to wait and see how the governor looks at it, and whether there should be some action immediately, or whether there in fact is any action immediately, so that these people are forced to pay these dues. Back to you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Fareed, for getting us all those details. We'll, of course, continue to track this story.